welcome to Holistic Lifestyle Tips, Getting Real About the Woo-Woo. I am Becky Russell, owner of wellness company Hope Essential, and I am an essential oil educator and a holistic lifestyle educator. I just love to teach. And I am especially excited about sharing what I've learned on my holistic journey of over 25 years because it's really worked well for me. And the way I know that is I'm 62 and not on any daily medications or prescriptions. And in my family, with our genetic makeup, that's pretty much a miracle. So I feel that this path I'm on is a huge reason why that's happening. So I don't have all the answers. I do have some physical things I'm working on, but I am so far ahead of the game compared to many people in my family. So just want to share what I've learned and help other people. So I now interview experts in the holistic field, the wellness field. And today I have someone very special, Sarah Haas. Welcome, Sarah.
Thank you.
She's going to talk about something today that is very close to my heart. Sarah is a women's weight loss and body love coach, but she does have a specialty in diabetes, and that is something that has really affected my family and is something I have to really be tenacious about in order to keep it at bay. So I just am so happy to have you here, Sarah, and share what you know with us and tell us how this all got started.
Well, as you said, I'm a women's weight loss and body love coach. I have a certification as a certified integrative nutrition health coach, and I'm also a certified personal trainer, and I have specialties in weight loss and diabetes, as you said. And I got into this field when my son, who was 6 at the time, was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, juvenile diabetes. He's 15 now, so we're coming up on our 9-year diversity, as they call it.
Okay.
But it really set me off on a journey of learning how food changes your body and how exercise changes your body. Type 1 diabetes and type 2 diabetes are really different in that type 1 isn't lifestyle related in any way. They don't know what causes it, and it can never get better. Your body just doesn't make insulin, so he relies on an insulin pump to give him that insulin that he has to have every day. A type 2 diabetic, it can be hereditary, and it can also be lifestyle related, but even if it's hereditary, there are things that you can do. So that's the good news. You know, my son is a type 1 and he will be forever. But if you are a type 2 or even pre-diabetic, the good news is there is a lot that you can do about it. And, you know, you and I were talking earlier about the fact that diabetes is reversible. It is extremely manageable, and it's also reversible. So it's a huge passion of mine to help people learn how to care for their bodies and that they can be completely healthy. It's possible not to need medications. It's possible not to have to be on insulin.
Oh, that's
And
exciting.
it is. It's great news. So if you are a type 2 diabetic, or if you are pre-diabetic, let's be clear, pre-diabetes, if you don't do something about it, will turn into diabetes.
Yeah.
It will.
And I'm a perfect example of that. I've tested pre-diabetic before.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And you have done so much with your lifestyle that you're not diabetic. And that is possible. That is possible for almost everyone who is pre-diabetic. You can head this off, but it is going to require some lifestyle changes. And so I work with lots of clients who are in that situation, and it's amazing how well the body responds when you start nourishing it in the way that it needs to be nourished.
And let's face it, I think one of the main reasons I'm not that special as far as why I have been able to, keep it at bay this long, because honestly, in my family, once you hit 40, it was pretty much a given conclusion that you were going
Yeah.
to develop it or,
Yeah.
be on medications. And, but I think the main difference for me is I like to research things. I'm not someone who just accepts what I'm told without question. And so I have to remember that not everyone is wired that way. You had a reason, a very specific reason to research it and become an expert. We both have different reasons for that, but some people are not wired that way. And so they need people like us. Not that we're any better than them or even any smarter necessarily. It's just how we're wired. And so we have an
And the
obligation.
life circumstances which led us to have such a
Yeah.
passion for this
And
and to want
have
to
an
help
obligation
others.
to share what we've learned. And it's not just you
Right.
taking care of your son and not sharing this information with other people. So we're all
Right.
wired differently. We all have different strengths and weaknesses. And so I just, that, because I was trying to figure out why was I able to make that shift? And I truly believe it's just how I'm wired. And I'm totally different from most of the people in my family. I'm the oddball, the weirdo. And so it served me well in this case. But I think if you're not wired as a learner, it's so important to find someone who can help you and not try to do it yourself because it's overwhelming.
Yeah. And even if you are very motivated, even if you are determined, there's so much information out there and it can be really overwhelming, and you don't know what to believe, what not to believe. And so having someone who has that knowledge, who can walk with you every step of the way, makes a huge difference. And also, just making such a lifestyle change is hard. It's overwhelming. And I know I've been through difficult things in my life, and I have reached out for support from professionals, friends, loved ones, whoever can offer that. And usually we need more than one support system. So I think, having someone there, not only to support you, but to kind of hold you accountable.
Yeah.
And I know when my son was diagnosed, I had lots of trainings and symposiums, and we had a diabetes educator that worked with us, because it was so overwhelming, and to learn it all, and we were terrified. This was my 6-year-old son. This is life or death. So I reached out to whoever I could find that could offer that support. So the things that you and I do are different tools. As many tools as you can have in your toolbox, the more successful you're going to be.
Right. And I think too, when you do make that investment in your health, you're also signaling to your brain and heart that you're worth it. That you would make that investment for your child, for your spouse in a heartbeat. But a lot of times we tell ourselves, because women tend to do this, we've got to take care of everyone else and not take care of ourselves.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of women are in this situation, because it's a lifetime of, oh, I have to work, or I have to raise my kids, or I have to take care of my house or my family. And we put ourselves last, and we're like, okay, I know I need to exercise. I'll do that tomorrow when I have time. I'll prepare healthy meals. I'll, do this, do that. And we keep pushing ourselves to the bottom of the list.
Yeah.
And so it's nothing to be ashamed of.
No.
It's not something to beat yourself up about. it's the fact that you're such a caring, loving, nurturing person, which is awesome. But we also have to show ourselves that same care and that same love, because
Yeah.
we're worth it just as much as everyone else.
Yeah.
I was diagnosed because I figured out that if I didn't care for myself the same way I was caring for him, I didn't have the energy to do what I needed to do for him.
Right.
If you're
Right.
exhausted, you're not going to shop and cook healthy meals.
That's right.
And you're
Yeah.
not going to be there emotionally present, and you're going to lose quality in your relationships. So it really affects your entire life.
Yeah. And well, I know I usually ask which area of wellness this subject addresses, physical, spiritual, or emotional wellness. And what would you say to that?
There's, it's physical primarily. You do need to get that baseline of taking care of your own body. But in order to make that happen, you have to be emotionally healthy as well. You have to invest in your own emotional wellness, because if you aren't, you'll just be white knuckling trying to do all this stuff, and it's just added to your already long list of things that you need to do, and it's still going to end up being put on the back burner like it has in the past. So creating that emotional space and that love for yourself, it's all so intertwined.
Yeah. And we can probably guess who could benefit from your services, but I'm wondering, can someone who even is maybe a relative of someone on this journey, can they maybe schedule a consultation even though they're not in need of it, but they're wanting to know more? Is that something you do as well?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I've had several clients who are maybe the daughter of someone who's diabetic, or a caregiver, and they want to help them, and they might be doing a lot of the cooking for them, or maybe their loved one is not quite ready to seek some professional, but little things can make a big difference. They can add up. So I can absolutely work a lot with people who want to help others.
Well, I love that you're sharing a message of a lifestyle change versus some magic pill or a diet or anything like that, because we know
Yeah.
those things don't work,
No, they
or
don't.
they only work in a very, very small way, and then cause some complications down the road with long-term use. So the
Mhm.
more we can just do it naturally and give our body what it needs, and it's just amazing. The body is meant to be well, and we
Yes.
forget that.
Yeah, your body's natural state is wellness. And if you treat it the way that it needs to be treated, it will always go back to that.
Yeah, I think we forget that.
Yes.
So how do people get a hold of you then?
Well, I have a website, sarahhaaswellness.com, and you can also email me. My email is sarah@sarahhaaswellness.com. Or you can call me directly at 423-677-5436. And I like to offer, anytime I do a presentation or something like this, I like to offer the listeners a complimentary healthy jumpstart consultation. So if that is something that your listeners are interested in, they can schedule that directly on my website, or they can get in touch with me and we will get that set up. And it's no strings attached, and it's a jumping off point to make a plan for getting you from where you are to where you want to be.
Love it. Love it. Okay. So I always like to end on a real sort of fun note. Where is your happy place?
Well, I have more than one happy place. Um, but this is gonna seem ironic with all the quarantining that we've been doing. But I feel like my home is a sanctuary. Make it as comfortable and loving and supportive as possible so that I'm happy when I'm here, and it's just a nourishing environment, lots of green plants and light and quiet places that I can go to relax. So I would have to say home is my happy place. I love to go out, I love to do things, but it's always nice to have a good home base.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. And I just want to remind everyone that if you want to know more about holistic living or the essential oils, I have a website, hopeessential.com. And then also, if you want to see any other previous videos for the holistic lifestyle tips, they're on there as well. And you can find me on Facebook at Hope Essential LLC, and I have events and education and all that fun stuff. So just want to spread the message of hope, and especially today, the message of hope for reversing type 2 diabetes. It's something that really hasn't been in the media. It's starting to create more buzz, but we need to spread that message that it is reversible. It's not necessarily easy, but it's simple. And so we just need that village to help us get there. And some of you can do it on your own. I applaud you, but it is usually a little easier if you have some help along the way. So till next time, choose you, choose natural, choose now.